Hi everyone.
Hi everyone. In the heart of Gotham, chaos reigns, shadows move, and the world's greatest detective is waiting to be assembled piece by piece. This isn't just any puzzle, it's the DC Comics Batman Collector's Edition puzzle by Ravensburger. 1,000 pieces of darkness, mystery, and comic book glory. Every section, every fragment, every edge brings us closer to the legend himself. Can we piece together the Dark Knight and conquer the challenge? Let's find out. This is the Batman puzzle build.
Let's take a journey through time into the pages of comic books, where gods walk among mortals, villains threaten entire worlds, and heroes rise to meet impossible odds. DC Comics, originally known as National Allied Publications, was founded in 1934 by Malcolm Wheeler Nicholson. Its first title was New Fun, the Big Comic Magazine, which was also the first comic book to feature entirely original material rather than reprints of newspaper strips. The company truly found its identity in 1938 when a pair of young creators, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, introduced the world to a strange visitor from another planet, Superman. This marked the beginning of what is known as the Golden Age of comic books, and Superman's debut in Action Comics #1 changed everything. He was the first superhero of his kind. Superhuman strength, invincibility, a cape, and a moral code. In many ways, he was the template for all future superheroes. Shortly after Superman's success, more heroes were introduced. Batman in 1939, Wonder Woman in 1941, and The Flash, Green Lantern, and Aquaman followed. In 1940, the company officially became known as Detective Comics and eventually simply DC Comics, named after its breakthrough title Detective Comics, which featured Batman. As more heroes emerged, DC began to weave them into a shared universe. One of the first major superhero themes in comics was the Justice Society of America, introduced in the 1940s. This paved the way for the modern Justice League, founded in 1960 in the Brave and the Bold number 28, featuring Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, and Martian Manhunter. Over the time, the DC universe grew larger and more complex. It spanned from different planets to mythological realms and even alternative realities and multiverses, where different versions of character exist. DC has always embraced cosmic scale storytelling. Themes like hope, justice, identity, and the battle between good and evil are central to its universe. DC Comics has also had a huge impact outside of comic books, in the TV, as the animated Justice League or Batman the Animated Series, in the movies from Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy to Zack Snyder's DC films to the more recent reboots and upcoming projects under James Gunn's DC Universe, and also in the games, as for example the Arkham series, Injustice, and more. DC characters have become mythic symbols, known even to people who have never read a comic book. As of now, DC is entering a new era under the leadership of James Gunn and Peter Safran, who are rebooting the DC film universe with a fresh vision. starting with the Superman. They are aiming to connect movies, TV, animation, and games into a single cohesive story, something DC has struggled with in the past. The hope is to honor the legacy of the characters while making them more accessible and appealing to modern audiences. From humble beginnings in the 1930s to becoming a global entertainment powerhouse, DC Comics has built a universe that explores what it means to be a human, even when the characters are aliens, gods, or vigilantes. Whether you're drawn to the unwavering morality of Superman, the darkness of Batman, or the fierce compassion of Wonder Woman, the DC Universe has something for everyone. Because, at its core, DC isn't just about superpowers. It's about stories that inspire us, challenge us, and remind us that even in the darkest time, heroes will rise.
And that's a wrap on the Batman DC Comics Collector's Edition puzzle. This one had a really nice mix of textures and colors, which made it easy to work on in separate sections. The darker areas were a bit tricky though. Sometimes it was hard to tell exactly where the piece goes. Overall, it was a puzzle that came together pretty smoothly, even though we weren't aiming for a speed puzzling this time. The real key was sorting. Once you're only working with a handful of pieces instead of a full pile, everything just clicks faster. We are actually planning to try to put this one together as a pair speed puzzling session. But honestly, even though this puzzle looks pretty simple, doing it under a time pressure might be a whole different story. If you have enjoyed this video and this build, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us for more puzzle challenges, and maybe watch us panning during that speed run next time. Happy puzzling, everyone!
Happy puzzling!